When you think back now, this wasn't just spinning up a chatbot. You had very limited knowledge for very good reasons. What did you kind of underestimate kind of going in that really kind of consumed more effort or time? Was it the kind of that training to be more human aspect of it?
Yeah, I think the training for sure, which we've already mentioned. I think the unpredictability of the bugs that appeared on the platform as well. Like there was one particular bug that appeared literally the day we started doing our pilots in field work, which is the avatar. So let's imagine it's like a real doctor talking to a patient avatar. There was this like completely novel bug where the patient avatar wouldn't answer the question that had just been asked of it. It would answer the question before that question, which just made the conversation. It was like a really weird, like experimental style of conversation, which just made absolutely no sense. Fortunately, our doctors sort of, you know, they came through and they persisted with it. But it would be as if I ignored your question just now and I just answered the question that you had asked Katie before or something. So yeah, the unpredictability of bugs that came up, like that one, we sort of just had to deal with. It sometimes came up, sometimes went away, and then after the first week of field work, it never came back. So I was like, okay. So yeah, that could be quite time consuming for sure. I think some of also a bug, but like the interruption in the conversation was quite tricky as well. There's one clip that yeah, we've watched quite a few times at this point, where there's a real patient talking to this doctor avatar, and the doctor avatar just like keeps interrupting her. He's trying to ask about her symptoms, but he'll let her talk for like maybe 2 syllables, and then he'll just interrupt her again, and then he's like asking her how she deals with like dry skin on her hands, and then she says that she moisturizes, but she has an accent, so the avatar thinks that she says moose ride, and he's like, "Oh, can you explain what you mean by moose ride?" And then later on, it gets like even weirder later on, where she's saying that she'll like wear washing up gloves to stop her hands from getting so dry after doing the washing up. And then the doctor avatars, they're like, "Oh, how do you feel when you wear the gloves?" So that's an example of
Dry.
like, yeah, the avatar just sort of going down this very strange conversational path that has like nothing to do with the patient's welfare. It's just sort of going on its own little jet. So yeah.
Well, yeah, it's interesting because you probably told the doctor avatar to be, supportive and, consultative, and it just kept going like, "Oh,
And
I
to
like
ask
your."
all them questions, but we didn't say ignore the gloves, like leave the gloves alone. They're not important.
Now you guys ran this as a self-funded kind of proof of concept to get kind of, customers interested in it. How did you decide what success even looked like when you were doing kind of that proof of concept?
It's a good question. I think, to be honest, we were just keen to know whether it would work, like whether we could actually simulate an entire consultation. So our we weren't particularly hypothesis driven going into the first round of testing. Um, but as the fieldwork evolved and as we went on and were using it more and more in interviews, we were much more be able to be much more specific about what needed to happen in order for this to be successful. So weeding out some of those bugs that can really like derail a simulated consultation, to make it so that we're actually getting sufficient information about the real world person who's interacting with the AI avatar, to be able to kind of learn something about what's transpiring in these consultations. So I think going into it, we were like, is this even possible? And then we were, yeah, really pleasantly surprised as we started the testing to just start to see it actually happen. Like the first interview where we saw a real doctor interacting with our AI avatar patient, I think we both had like goosebumps. We were so
Mhm.
excited that this was actually happening. But then by like the fourth interview, we were like, it starts to actually be a bit dull when it's working really well. So we started to
That's
have kind of
great.
higher standards about like, is this working so well that we could actually roll this out and use this with clients and use it successfully? And deal with the pressure of a real world study with real clients and their stakeholders watching these simulated interactions taking place and them being smooth enough that we would be confident for a client to put it in front of to pay money for it and put it in front of their internal teams.